Okay. So while people are hopping on, I'm going to start recording so that we don't keep our guest for too long tonight. This is our Wednesday night team call, and we are so lucky today because we have Plexus's very first diamond, Miss Sheila Medina, who I could not be more excited is going to talk to you guys today, this evening. And I'm going to tell you just one quick thing because I really want to leave this call for Sheila to just pour into you guys and do what she always does. But I want to tell you one thing. So she already knows this story, but I'm going to tell it again. So 4 years ago, I decided that since these products had been so life-changing for me, that against all odds, I was going to jump into this thing called network marketing. And I was just going to tell people about these products. And I was just really excited. You know, when you're brand new and you're super excited and you're just on fire for it. I didn't have an upline or a team or anybody that was in my vicinity at all. I was in the DC area. Everybody that I joined under was in Texas. And I was just all fired up and excited. And I brought my daughter to the very first Super Saturday, which happened to be right in Rockville, Maryland. And it was like 40 minutes from my house. So I had no idea how lucky I was that day that it was that close. But what I also had no idea that I was so lucky about was that I was going to get there and I was going to sit in this little bitty room that maybe had 50 or 60 people in it. Is that about right? Maybe 60 people. And that this just sunshine of a person was going to stand in front of me and just talk about her belief in this company and solidify for me that I had done the right thing and that I was in the right company, because she was so non-scripted and so genuine and had the same kind of, I thought to myself, she's as excited as I am, and this is brand new for me. And she's been in this for a while. And from that point on, every time I've heard from Sheila Medina, I have been inspired and felt like when I see somebody who is sort of laissez-faire, I guess, for lack of a better word, I think to myself, you just don't get it. You just don't understand. And I feel like if you hear from people who are this passionate about it, I think that it starts to just get into your, I don't know, it just gets into your blood. You just, are so excited about it. It becomes a part of you. So without further ado, we have brought Miss Sheila Medina to you. She's so gracious to share her time with us tonight. She certainly did not have to. I'm not in her downline anywhere. She's just doing this out of the goodness of her heart, and I'm so, so grateful for that. And so, Sheila, I'm going to mute everybody real quick because people are still hopping on, and then you can unmute yourself, and I'm just going to let you take the floor. Tell this is Team Legacy. Okay. That's what our team is called. And I thought how cool when we started talking about being a legacy company, and I was like, great, because we're Team Legacy and we're ready to do that. So we're excited to hear from you.
Well, first things first, Angela, you and your team are in my downline, so let's just clear that up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's true. That is true.
Yeah. So, we're all one Plexus, right? But yeah, you are in the downline somewhere. I had someone, I think it was Nikki Hinkle, text me the other day, and she said, "Oh, I'm so excited. I just found out I'm 22 and you're down like level 22." So I don't care where your level is, right? So
it was somewhere way down there.
Somewhere. It doesn't matter to me. We're all in this together, right? Because if we weren't in this together, then we wouldn't be called one Plexus. And so, so I am just thrilled that Angela asked me to be on your call tonight, because I'm going to take you on a little trip, a little journey of mine that I tend to do a lot, because I think people need to remember where we started from, and then really, really get a huge picture of what is about to happen and what's about to be, what your future could and should look like. And it can be if you're willing to put just a little bit of effort in it. So I want to take you back to 2008 when Tarl and the executive team actually purchased Plexus Worldwide. We were actually called Plexus Pink at that time. We were a breast health company, and we had one non-consumable product. I only got into Plexus just to get that kit at wholesale, because I was actually a Mary Kay sales director, had been for 15 years, was quite successful. And I really wanted the breast kit because I worked with all these women, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to take my Mary Kay to the next level. And that was my whole idea. We'd had great training from Mary Kay. I loved their products. And so everything was wonderful except for one little piece of me that kept thinking, I think there's something more. I think that I'm supposed to be doing something else, but I certainly don't know what it is. And I feel like there's just something tugging at me, but I wasn't sure what that was. And it certainly wasn't going to be Plexus. I mean, come on, what can you do with one product that lasts 10 years? You can't do anything with that. So I tried to join in June. They bought the company in May. I tried to join in June. And here's the kicker. Guess what? They were going through a back office change and didn't know how to sign me up. I know that sounds unbelievable, and I know you cannot believe that. I bet you think I'm lying to you right now, but I truly am not, because no one knew how to sign me up. Nobody, okay? I want you to think about that for just a minute. I'm trying to join a company that has one product, one non-consumable product, and they can't sign me up because they're going through a back office change and nobody knows how to do it. So I couldn't sign up in June. So I tried again in July, and guess what? They still didn't know how to sign me up. I tried again in August, still didn't know how to sign me up. In September, I called the company and said, I think I've got it figured out. If you will just give me the ambassador number, I think I can sign myself up. I mean, that's how I got signed up, because I was like, you got to be kidding. Somebody's got to know how to sign me up. I just want the breast kits for cost. I'm not trying to do anything here, right? So I officially got signed up in September. So you tell me, why would I wait June, July, August, September to join a company that only had one non-consumable product? Because something was pulling me that direction. Something was saying, you know what? You got to get those breast kits. And so I did join the company in September. Not a whole lot happened. We came out with a what you now know as a body cream, but actually it was a breast cream. So we had a breast kit and a breast cream. I mean, still your audience was pretty small, right? But I did go out and talk a little bit about it, but I kept my Mary Kay cards right there so that people would pick up my Mary Kay cards, because that was my mission, right? I was just going to take my Mary Kay business to the next level. And then 2009 rolled around in July, and I got a call from Charles, and he asked me if I would just simply try a new product they wanted to bring out. And I'll tell you, at first I was not really happy about that, because you see, my other company had 270 something products. I was kind of happy that Plexus only had 2, because I didn't have to deal much with it. Now they were going to bring out a third product. Like, really? Come on. So they, you know what? For whatever reason, I trusted them, because here was the magic words. Sheila, as our lead ambassador of Plexus Worldwide, we would love for you to try this drink. And let me tell you how I became the lead ambassador, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I had bought 4 breast kits the month before. That's it. That's how I became the lead ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And so they asked me if I would try this drink. They really didn't tell me what it was going to do. They didn't really tell me much about it. They said, mix it with a bottle of water, shake it up, drink it once a day, call us back and report back. And that's what I did. So in July 2009, from July 9th to September 6th, when we launched Plexus Slim, I drank it every day. I called them and said, hey, this happened today. And they're like, well, that's good. And then I called them a couple of days later, hey, this is happening. Well, that's good. And I would say, you know, my sugar cravings seem to be disappearing. I seem to be sleeping better. I have more energy. People are asking me what it is. Do we have a name for it yet? No, we don't have a name for it yet. So here's what happens. When you start feeling better and people start noticing, they want to know what you are doing. And when you say, I don't know, that does not go over well with your friends or family. They just don't take it well. And so my friends thought I was on some kind of major diet, or I had found some magic potion, which I kind of felt like I had, but I didn't have a name for it. So I promised them that as soon as I found out what it was, I would share it with them. And so when we finally launched Plexus Slim in September 6th, 2009, I got a couple gals together and we all tried the product. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I had a bottle of water, some Dixie cups with a little turtle on them, 2 white packets. We didn't have any labeling back then. We had nothing. And I had 1 sheet of paper that had a green leaf at the top to remind me to tell people it was plant-based. There you go. And that's how I had my first, what we called weight loss party back then. Now we call them a sip and share, right? And guess what happened? Everyone either purchased or signed up, because I gave them the 3 ways that they could order. They could be a retail customer, they could be a preferred customer, or they could be a wholesale member, as long as they were willing to share the product with others. That was my spiel. It is still my spiel to today, and I do not care which one they decide. Whatever they decide, I'm happy about, because I have found that the best ambassadors sometimes are customers first, and I'm okay with that. And so whatever they decide to do, because you see, it's a win no matter what they decide to do. It is a win, win, win. So I couldn't believe it. And so my friend Patty Cuevas, who had, I wasn't going to share that I was in this breast health company with anybody, but she kind of forced me to, because she had 3 daughters and she wanted to get a breast kit for all of them, and it would be easier for her to sign up and get 4 kits for $100. So she signed up to be an ambassador, and she wanted me to come to her house and talk about the Plexus Slim. So I did, and everybody at her house either signed up or bought. And within the next week or so, she had signed up 20 people in, 20 people in 30 days. So she was our first Fast Start earner, but she didn't get paid for it. We just decided to have Fast Start after she proved it could be done. So interestingly enough, here's what happened that changed everything for me. From September to December, her husband, Coach Cuevas, Coach Ronnie Cuevas, if you were at convention, you've seen him earn the One Plexus Award. He lost 36 pounds and went from 4 insulin shots to 2. And that's when I decided, oh my gosh, yeah, I had lost some weight. I had lost some inches, but you got to be kidding me. I mean, you got to be kidding me. He looks amazing. What I did not know is he'd already retired from 35 years of coaching, because he couldn't coach anymore. He couldn't walk the field anymore. He couldn't do anything anymore, because he basically was just in such poor health. And that December, I don't know why, but I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was sitting in the mall parking lot about to go in to talk to someone about Plexus, and I decided to call Mary Kay that day and resign as a director. And I hung up the phone after I had resigned, and I picked up the phone and I called Tarl and I told him, hey, I'm going to go full time with you guys. It's December 15th. I'm going to take 2 weeks off, clear my head, but January 1st, I'm going to go full time with you guys. And he said, oh, okay, that's great. Thank you so much. We're excited about that. It wasn't that big of a deal. And so I had to call back a few minutes later, because you see, we had 5 people working in the office and you never knew who was going to answer the phone. And so the guy that picked up the phone said, well, hello, Miss Full-Time Plexus Ambassador. I'm like, how do you know that? I just hung up the phone. How do you know that? He said, are you kidding me? We all came out and did a high five saying we got our first one. I had no idea that I had become the first full-time ambassador. I had no idea that the other few people that were ambassadors were all grandfathered in this new compensation plan as senior goals. So I love when people say I was the first diamond, because I get to thinking about it. Yeah, what people don't really know is I was the first silver, I was the first gold, the senior gold, because I had to work my way up the ranks. Nothing was given to me, which I think is great, because if it had been given to me, I wouldn't be able to appreciate it like I can today. And I literally would sit around a table with my little team at the time, and we would just map out how to get to the next rank. We weren't mapping out how to get to diamond. We weren't mapping out how to get to emerald. We were mapping out how to get to silver. And then we mapped out how to get to gold and senior gold and so on and so forth. And so in 2011, in January, I got a call from corporate again. And they said, Sheila, you're really close to becoming an Emerald Ambassador. And we think we appreciate you helping build a Plexus, and you're out there just talking it and explaining the compensation plan to everybody, but really pay attention to your immediate team, because we think you could go Emerald. And it was kind of like, if you can do it, anybody can do it. And I was like, okay. So back then they didn't officially announce she was Emerald until the following month. So March 15th, they announced me as an Emerald, but really and truly, I went Emerald within less 60 days of that phone call. And so I went Emerald, and we decided to have our very first convention. So in 2011, we had our first convention in New Orleans, with about 248 people there, which was pretty exciting to us. I mean, actually, we were losing our minds, because we were so excited we couldn't stand ourselves, okay? We were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because you see, we had people calling us every day giving us their testimonies. I mean, people would call and say, oh my goodness, I walked in the park with my kids today, and I'm thinking, okay. And they would say, no, you don't get it. Usually I had to sit on the bench and watch them play. And today I actually played with them. That's the difference of Plexus from 2 weeks ago to today. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, we got to tell the world. And coach was like, we got to tell it from the rooftops. And do you think I can make $400 a month? And I'm like, I don't know, but let's just go see what we can do. And so I became an Emerald, and we had our first convention. And the following year, in 2012, we had our second convention, and we had about 1,800 people there. And if you think about that for just a minute, I know we have like 13,000 now, but to go from 248 to 1,200 people in a year was pretty doggone exciting. We had our first Emerald Extravaganza, which was not in Hawaii, by the way. That was 6 of us, including our spouses. We got to go out to Arizona and see their 2,000 square foot building. And if you can imagine Alec Clark rolling out a little piece of red carpet because they got a limo to pick us up. We were so excited. We got a backpack. It was so exciting. We went on a hot air balloon ride. It crashed. That's a whole nother story for another time. But anyway, we had a great time. And then Charles and I started talking about a car program. And I said, you know, in Mary Kay, I earned lots of cars, and I seen the good and the bad and the ugly with it. So we wanted to make sure it was a very positive impact. So in 2012, in July, after we had our second convention, we came out with a car program, and we decided the Plexus Lexus, mostly because I thought it was a cute name, and I didn't want to drive a Ford Taurus, and I didn't really want to drive a Mercedes, but we thought the Plexus Lexus was really cute. And so we also decided to come out with the position of Sapphire, because there wasn't one. There was just Emerald and then Diamond, but there was such a huge gap. So we decided to come out with the position of Sapphire, which I already was a Sapphire because I already had the points for it. So I became a Sapphire, and the car program all happened in 2012. And then in 2013, we had our third and last convention at New Orleans, and we had about 3,800 people. Now we're starting to look around going, where are these people coming from? Because now we are like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. This is just fantastic. We can't believe this is happening to us. And so I became a Diamond that year, and I was kind of on stage, came out in a fog of smoke, and that's a whole nother story too. I could talk all night about the stories I have, but you know, here's the thing. I realized there I was again on stage again by myself. And I was like, this is crazy. So I kind of made like an acclamation that year. And I said, okay, this is it. This is the last time I want to be on stage as the first of anything. If I can't bring my team and other people in Plexus up on the stage with me, then this is not fun. I want everybody to see what I'm seeing, feel what I'm feeling, start earning the income that I'm earning, see the financial freedom. I want them to see the lives that we're changing every day. And so the following year they listened, and 32 people joined me as a Diamond on stage in 2014 in Dallas, Texas, with about 7,000 people in our audience. And so that was pretty exciting. 2015, we went to Scottsdale, and we had about another 7,000 there. We maxed out. I thought it'd be a great idea if I would host people that wanted to come see I think that was our third new building at the time. And I didn't know that 6,000 people were going to decide to come visit the building, but that was a lot of fun. And so I kind of just welcomed everybody to the building. And then 2016 came along, and something amazing happened. We went to Las Vegas, and we maxed out the MGM Theater. And, you know, to think about, you know, guys, that was only a few short years if you think about it. I mean, from 2011, our first, from 248 people to 2016 with maxed out at the MGM Theater in Las Vegas. Are you kidding me? We celebrated 100 Diamonds that year. You know, just unbelievable, the journey that we all have been on. And so and then 2017, of course, came along, and we maxed out the MGM Theater again. And, you know, just so much has happened in such a short time, right? I want to tell you guys that when I started with this company, their yearly earnings as a company was like $280,000. Well, you know, last year we did like, what did we do? Like $530 million worth of revenue. Y'all, that's a lot in a short time. Do you realize that? I mean, that's a lot. And we're going to beat that this year. We had over 13,000 people at MGM this past year. I mean, 2018 is going to rock. and you have a choice to either be a part of it or sit there and watch it pass you by. And that's where I want to talk to you a little bit about the accolades from Plexus. You know, to be ranked in the Inc. 5000 in the top 500 twice, 2 years in a row, first at number 8, and then again at 132, that's like off the chain, okay? To be ranked in the Direct Selling Association as number 46 worldwide, and then come back last year and be ranked number 39 worldwide. And here's a little ticket I want to tell you about. We didn't open up any new countries. How can you move up 7 spots and not even open up a new country? Kind of crazy, right? I mean, I officially kind of opened up Canada 2 years ago, but not really. Not really. We're not officially in Canada. We hope to be officially in the first quarter of 2018. So, you know, here we are moving up the ranks in direct selling news. Our CMO gets awards. Charles had tons of awards as being one of the youngest CEOs. You know, just amazing what has happened in such a short time. How about this? Plexus Worldwide has been ranked 2 years in a row as the best place to work for as an employee. Remember, we had 5 people that worked there? Well, now we have over 500. Crazy, right? 500 in just a few years. Something amazing is going to happen in 2018. I think there's 2 really good milestones I want you to think about. In 2018, we as a company will be 10 years old. And they always say that if you can make it to 10 years or $1 billion, whichever one comes first, then you are here for the duration. That's why we talk about legacy. We're not going anywhere. Most companies don't make it past 5 years. Most network marketing companies don't make it past 5 years. You know, truth is, in direct selling news, we rank number 28. I bet you could probably make a list of 20 companies that you know that have been around for years and years and years. When I got in to my first direct selling company, Mary Kay, they'd already been around for 30-something years. So think of all the things they probably went through before I got there, right? And so these little bumps in the road, you guys, if there were not bumps, we would not be growing. I tell people all the time, we have to go back to catch up. We're growing faster than what we can keep up with. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that sad? I mean, come on, you guys. We're growing in spite of ourselves. That's because there's a couple of reasons why. You got a product that works. So if you got a little piece of paper, I want you to take a quick quiz for me. And it's going to be your belief level quiz. And it's on a scale from 1 to 10. And we're going to come back and visit them. So this is going to go really quick. But on a scale from 1 to 10, I want you to rank yourself. 1 means, no, I have 0 belief. 5 is, yeah, I'm having a little bit of belief. 8 is, well, I kind of feel like I have belief. And 10 is, yep, I believe. So the first one, I want you to rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. Remember, 10 is your full belief. Is 1, rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 about the product. 2, what's your belief in Plexus Worldwide? 3, what's your belief in our compensation plan? 4, what's your belief in network marketing? And 5th, what's your belief in yourself? All right, so the first time I ever did this was with a group of jewels, and they were so proud of themselves because they were all, when they figured it all out, they were a good solid 8, and I said, shame on you. As a jewel, you should be 10 plus, plus, plus. You should be an 11 and a half, because here's what I know. You got to have belief in the product. If you don't, oh my goodness, go find a testimony. It's pretty easy. They're all over the place. Google Plexus and whatever you want to find out about. Testimonies are out there crazy. We had 2. I had mine, Coach had his, and I became silver with a breast kit, y'all. Look, everybody can go silver. You got somebody that'll do it because they love you. You got somebody that'll do it because they want to do whatever you got to do. And you got somebody who can, I don't know, whatever you got to do to make them do it, right? You can convince them, you can persuade them, you can, they owe you, whatever it is, right? You can find 3 people. Come on. If I can do it with 1 breast kit that's last 10 years, you can find 3 people. So I am just very passionate about the position of silver, okay? I went Ruby and Senior Ruby working on me and Coach's testimonies and a few other testimonies. You guys, I had a piece of paper that you couldn't even read. It had been ran off so many times. So we have so many tools. So if you don't have belief in the product, you need to go get your belief to a 10.5. You need to go look up testimonies. If you don't have one, stop waiting for yours to happen, because Lord only knows what you think is supposed to be happening to you. Go find somebody else's and share theirs, because the longer you keep it a secret, you are denying other people the opportunity to be healthy. Shame on you. So do not keep it a secret while you're waiting for this amazing health story that's already happening to you, but you can't even notice it yet. So stop waiting for it to happen to you and share somebody else's, unless you've got one of your own, and share your own. You do. You just need to think about it. Okay. So 2, let's think about Plexus Worldwide. Well, I just gave you all those accolades. For goodness sakes, people love working there. Hello. You got to love the company. They make everything right. You know what? We're not beyond mistakes. We make mistakes every single day. That makes us real. But Plexus always stands behind everything we do. So I never worry about Plexus doing the right thing. They always do the right thing. So I love our company. Compensation plan, got to be the most generous plan ever. Who would not want to partake in profit sharing of a company that just did $500 million last year? Who would not want a piece of that? Come on. So the compensation plan is generous. If you've ever received a direct deposit, we used to call them checks, because we actually used to collect checks, because at one time Ronnie, Coach had collected so many in his pocket. I was like, Coach, you better cash those checks. We don't know how long this company is going to be around. You better go cash them, right? So, as jokingly, right? So if you've ever gotten a direct deposit, you know the compensation plan works. What about network marketing? Hello, are you kidding me? This is the easiest business there is. We get a lot of bad press, but it is easy. I didn't say simple, I said easy. People aren't going to knock on your door. People aren't going to hunt you down on Facebook to ask you to join their team. Rare occasion. You got to work for it. You got to do a little something, okay? If you go to work 40 hours a week, they expect something from you. If you're going to work Plexus 5 or 10 hours a week, then work it. You know, I used to, back in my other business, I had 4 hours a week I could work because I worked a regular job. I got more done in 4 hours than what most people could get done in 24 hours. Why? Because I was focused. I had my list. I knew what I was going to do. I knew who I was going to contact. I knew who I was going to call. I knew who I was going to reach out to. So get you an IPA sheet and start working it. I believe you can build a business 5 hours a week if you work it, not think about it, not scan Facebook, not scroll Facebook, not, you know, look at baby pictures and cat photos. You got to get out there and do some business. And if you haven't met people one-on-one yet at a coffee shop or whatever, I don't think you should brag about staying in your pajamas all day. Get out, meet some people, okay? It's fun. It really is. Share a smile. You'll be amazed what'll happen. Okay, so let's talk about the comp plan is generous. Let's talk about network. All right, so we talked about network marketing easy. So here's the hard one. You got to believe in yourself. Here's where everybody gets tripped up. You think you got to be somebody else. You don't have to be anybody else but you. You are good enough. You are exactly who you need to be, because the minute you start comparing yourself with others, you will always come up short, because here's what you do. You compare your strengths to other people's weaknesses. I mean, yeah, no, opposite. You compare your weaknesses to other people's strengths. You see, people just think I have it all together, but really all I do is surround myself with people that know stuff. That's what I do. And so you can do that too. So stop comparing. Your journey is your journey. If we all did it in a split millisecond, then someone that took 5 minutes wouldn't be able to relate to us. So stop thinking it's a race. It's a journey. Enjoy every step of your journey. Set your goals. Figure out what you got to do to get there. Get there one rank at a time, so that when you get there, you understand how you got there, okay? And that you can explain it to others. And put those blinders on. The reason that racehorses have blinders on is so they cannot see the people that are on the side of them. All they can see is the finish line ahead of them. And you do have a finish line. To be honest with you, if it took you 10 years to get to Emerald, do you know it would be worth it? People work years and years to make a 6-figure income. It would be worth it if it took you 10 years. Don't take you 10 years, but if it did take you 10 years, it would still be worth it. Tomorrow is a brand new day. Tomorrow can be the beginning of your business. Whatever has happened up to today, so what? Who cares? Don't let it hold you back. Start your business tomorrow. Whatever that looks like. If you say, okay, this is it. This is my starting point. Everything I've done up to now has just been a lesson learned. I'm going to figure this thing out, and I'm going to go out there and work my business. That's what you have to do, because I want you to be the turning point in your life where when generations come after you and they have this opportunity to get into network marketing, they can say, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember my aunt, my uncle, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, my grandpa, my neighbor's sister's mother's aunt. I remember they were good at that. They were good at that. And that could be you that they're talking about. So why don't you be the one that changes everything? Why don't you be the one that makes that decision and says, you know what, I am going to be successful. Whatever success looks like for you, because it looks different for everybody. But whatever it is for you, you are the only person holding yourself back. That little thing between here is holding yourself back, that self-doubt. Stop it. Stop it. If you can, I can, and they can. You guys, if I can do it with what I had, I promise you, you can do it with what we've got today. People are looking for us. People always ask me, the one question I get asked all the time is, what do you think about a person when they tell you no? Believe it or not, people still tell me no. They don't want to have anything to do with it. That's fine, because here's a couple things. The reason I think people have told me no. One is I didn't give them enough information to say yes. Secondly, it's just not the right time for them. I hate to tell you all this, but it's most likely not about you at all. I know we want everything to be about us, but it's not, okay? There's something else going on in their life. And thirdly, I'm thinking, oh, Lord, I need you to hurry up and make a decision and get out of my way, because tens of thousands of people wish they had what I have. And I can't get to them if I'm worried about this one or two people that are telling me no. Okay? So stop worrying about the no's and get out there and find those people, because I trust you. Trust me. There are people going to bed every night wishing and praying and hoping for someone like you to walk into their life tomorrow. And the only way that you can do that is to get that self-doubt out of your head, start your business fresh in the morning, and go out there and talk to those people, and do not care what answer they give you, because you are happy no matter what their decision is, whether it's retail, preferred, ambassador, or you need to follow up with them later. Follow up is key. Doesn't matter how many times you need to follow up until they tell you stop following up with me, right? So, okay, I'm going to open it back up, and Angela can ask me some questions, or if there's some questions that you guys want to ask me. I don't know why my hair looks weird in this picture, but anyway.
You do not look weird. I know everybody is so excited to have heard everything that they just heard from you. I know you're just so inspiring, because your heart's on your sleeve. You're just putting it out there, what you believe. And I have to say, something that you said to me that I really loved, and I think that this, hopefully they caught it, because you said it so quick. You said, whatever amount of time it takes you to get there, to whatever you're aiming for, get there one step at a time, one rank at a time, so you can understand how you got there. I will tell you something interesting about, and I love that you said that. I've never heard you say that before. Not that you haven't, I just haven't heard it. It took me 25 months to get to Emerald. It took me, on my 3-year anniversary, I hit Sapphire. I never once lamented over that I didn't do it as fast as I saw some other people do it, because every step of the way, it made me understand what it took to get to that next rank. It made me have an understanding that I'm so grateful for. It made me understand and know my team, and I would never change that. So I just hope that you guys caught that, because that was not that there weren't a million big things that were said, but especially in a region where we know we've got to dig in, we've got to work hard here. Because we come up against a lot of skepticism. Everybody does, but different regions are a little bit different. Okay, one of the things I also loved is that you said that you used basically 2 testimonies to get to Ruby, right? Did I catch that right? Okay. I loved that, because so many times I feel like people say, well, I just don't really have a big story yet. So, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Have you looked at any of the 10,000 testimonies that are out there? That here you were, with 2 testimonies to work from, and you went out there and were talking to people face to face, and they just, I don't know about you, but whenever I think that when somebody tried to figure out what it was that was working for me, this is what it was. My belief in talking face to face with people. And yes, I did some of it on social media. I don't think you did nearly as much as I did on social media. That it was the talking face to face. And Marsha, who's actually on this call, is one of the people who said this to me. He was like, I wasn't really sure what you were talking about, but you were so excited and you believed it so much, I just wanted to try it. I just believed you. And that is what's missing sometimes for people. And that's what you've brought to them when you talk to this team. You show them that that's
sapphire before I got on social media and started talking about plexus.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. All right. I'm going to throw a couple of things out there. How many minutes do you have? I don't even know what time it is right now.
It's 10 till, so we got 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, so let's do this. What would you say to people? Here's a really good question that I think that you could speak really well to. 2 questions. What made you so confident about aligning yourself with the leadership specifically, with Tarl and Alec and the people that run Plexus? And then the other question that I have for you is not really related, but you can just roll into it. What would you say to people who get hung up on the idea of selling stuff to people or making money off of people? Because I struggle with that one. I don't understand it. I feel like that's the world we live in, but those are the topics I would love to throw at you.
Yeah. My journey is a little different because we grew together, Tarl and myself and Alec and a few others. We had to figure this thing out every day. So, it was crazy. I mean, we were talking 3-4 times a day about what to do, how to do, what we needed to do next. And so we kind of grew it together. The one thing we did want to do, and I think we're still doing a good job of that, is we wanted to create a culture of doing it the right way every time. In other words, we really wanted to follow the golden rule. We wanted to make sure that people didn't come to Plexus because they thought that we were going to pay them to do so. We turned all those people down. I would tell people that I got an opportunity to meet with a few of those sometimes, and they would say, I can bring you a team over and all that. And I said, well, if you understood our comp plan, you wouldn't be here asking me for money. You'd be out there working the business. And so, I always just felt like we did it the right way every time. And so, when you hear Charles say we want to do network marketing like it could and should, but rarely is, that is so truthful. Sometimes we live in a little bit of a bubble because we don't realize what other companies are doing. We just see the hype. But I promise you, maybe you can earn a car in, 30, 60 days, but I want to check. I want you to show me the money, right? Show me the money, because that car can't pay your bills. This is a business. We don't think of anything when we go to Walmart and pick a supplement off the counter, and you got to go through the checkout line. You just can't walk out the door. Think of how many people got paid from the supplement that you picked up off of the Walmart shelf. What you may not have any idea how many products that you actually purchase that actually comes from a direct selling association of some sort. There are all kinds of companies out there that don't necessarily run it through what we call ambassadors, but there's all kinds of products every day that you're purchasing that you may have no idea that actually is connected to direct sales. So here's the thing. I tell people we have a very unique opportunity. I have the opportunity to help people not only physically, but financially get healthy, because being financially distraught is horrible on your health. And so if I can help a person get healthy and I just happen to be rewarded for that, that's a win-win. We certainly don't think bad about the car salesman when he decides, helps us pick out a car. We don't think bad about the drive-through person who decided, do you want that large or medium or whatever? We don't think bad about that. That's in our own head. What are we thinking about? Every day you sell something. We share Plexus, but at the end of the day, a sale's got to be made, right? You got to close the deal. You buy and sell all day long to your kids, to your spouses, to neighbors, to everybody. If you want to have a party at your house, you got to promote it, right? I mean, whatever you do, you know what? Here's a story for you. Me and my daughter and her friend were walking in Dillard's yesterday, and they seen this girl that had the cutest pair of tennis shoes on, and the friend tells my daughter, go ask her where she got those tennis shoes. So my daughter runs her down, asks her where she got the tennis shoes. She said, I got them from here. 20 minutes later, all three of us had bought a pair of the exact same tennis shoes from this lady at the Dillard shoe department. Did I think bad about the lady at the shoe department getting the commission on those 3 pairs of shoes? A little bit, because if we hadn't seen that girl walking with those shoes first, we would have never noticed those shoes. Too bad she didn't get a piece of that, right? Absolutely. And so why do we get so hung up on we buy and sell all day long?
And that, I don't mean to interrupt, but that what Sheila just said is what should build your belief in network marketing. When you struggle to believe in what network marketing is, that is what it is that people actually get the opportunity to get that piece of that, which we do this all the time anyway.
We took the middleman out. That's all.
I just filled a vacuum today for Eureka or something. I didn't get anything from that.
Hey, how many people have you referred to a movie, a restaurant? Hey, I have a boutique downtown, by the way, that I love, and I send people there all the time. They have yet to send me a check. I don't get it.
All right. I want to let you go, but I do have one last question for you because I feel like I have another minute. Thank you for that. When people come into the business, say they want to do the business, and then they leave, how do you feel about them? Not how do you feel about them, but does it impact your belief in the business, in the company, and your ability to achieve? Because I think sometimes when people have somebody come in and say they're going to do it and then they leave, struggle with that.
That hurts us, because we tend to take things personally. We try not to, but we do, right? It's personal to us because we invested in those people. We thought we did all the right things, and then for whatever reason they leave, and we can get all caught up into that. Or we can say, you know what, this just wasn't the right business for that person. Let me go look for someone else. Because if you've ever worked a regular job for, 5 years, and the exact same people were there, I'd love to know about it. Because I don't think I've ever had a job where people didn't come and go. Why are we any different? People will come and go. That is just the way of life. Some people are just not meant for certain things. Some people do things for different reasons. And so, here's what I tell people all the time. Network marketing. Most people get into it because they think they can make a quick buck. Okay? And I'm not going to lie to you. The financial rewards are pretty dadgum amazing. Okay? They're pretty good and amazing. All right? Then all of a sudden you notice, well, the money's not bad, but the time freedom is pretty awesome too, because I can go and do as I please. And then you're thinking, well, okay, wait a minute, let me tell everybody about the time freedom. So now you're telling everybody about the time freedom and the money that they can make. And then one day you have an aha moment. And that aha moment is when you realize and you look back at the lives that you have changed along the way, whether they stayed with you or not. When you realize that it is the lives that you've changed along the way, then you really do understand network marketing, because that's when it all becomes very clear. Charles told me a long time ago, you can only own so many cars, so many houses, and then it kind of gets to be silly, right? But one day you realize, oh my goodness, I could actually give back to my family, my faith, and my community and actually stand for something. I love when I go places, I don't go as the plexus lady. I go as the person in the community that could possibly help out a situation, whatever that situation may be. You know why? Because of what I do. And eventually people are going to ask me what I do, because for whatever reason, I seem to have time to get things done, and I seem to have flexibility, and I seem to have a little cash. How is it I have all that? Oh, well, I'm with a health and wellness company. I help people physically, financially. Are you kidding me? You don't know what I do? Oh, shame on me. I'm sorry. I should have told you about it.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep. I couldn't possibly agree more with that. And I think that if that doesn't inspire people, I don't know what would. If you are interested in helping people and being that helper in your corner of the world, this is the way to do it. And I think that that's the way that I was able to overcome every single potential mental block was, wait, if I achieve this, I can help so many people. And like you said, everybody doesn't necessarily stick with you along the journey, but my hope has always been that whatever somebody, when they've come onto my team, if they, I never think to myself, I'm going to love that person if they stay forever. I'm just going to love that person because they're on my team. I'm going to be whatever, this is just my faith, whatever God means for me to be in their life, that's what I'm going to be for now. If that means they stay with us forever, great. If that means I was just along that journey, that's great too. And I think that having that kind of attitude builds, this is an amazing team that you're talking to, but I think that that kind of attitude builds that kind of a team. So I know everybody here is super excited to have been able to hear from you and just be inspired by you and hear that history. I've seen a lot of messages about how fun it was to hear the history and from your perspective. And that's one of the things I love to let people get a little piece of. And so hopefully all of these people are going to make sure that they get to corporate events and Super Saturday and convention if they're new. A lot of them have come, but the new ones, because that's where you get so much more of this. Yeah. So thank you so much, Sheila. We really appreciate you.
So welcome. I enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the call up here and end the recording because we've gone right up to 9 o'clock. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night.